Today, I want to talk about something that goes against the grain of our constantly connected world, being silent and cutting all contacts. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, reclaiming inner peace has become more of a necessity than a luxury. Silence, often overlooked in its power, serves as the gateway to this peace. Our world is saturated with noise, be it the literal hum of traffic and gadgets or the metaphorical noise of endless notifications, conversations, and responsibilities pulling us in every direction. Amidst all this chaos, silence emerges as a sanctuary, offering us the opportunity to pause, breathe, and reconnect with ourselves. When we embrace silence, we create a space to step back from the perpetual whirlwind of activity. It is in this space that we can truly rest, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Silence allows the mind to detach from external distractions and constant demands. It brings the scattered pieces of our attention into alignment, enabling us to focus on the present moment. This process, though seemingly simple, has profound effects on our overall well-being. Studies have shown that silence helps reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels, calming the nervous system, and fostering a sense of serenity. These effects are not just immediate, but can have long-term benefits for mental health, including decreased anxiety and a heightened sense of emotional balance. Beyond its calming effects, silence is also a tool for deep self-discovery. In the absence of external noise, the internal noise of our thoughts becomes more audible. Initially, this might feel uncomfortable. Our minds, conditioned to constant engagement, may resist the stillness, bombarding us with worries, to-do lists, or even feelings we've long avoided. But it is precisely by sitting with this discomfort that we begin to peel back the layers of ourselves. We start to discern the difference between the fleeting chatter of the mind and the deeper truths of the heart. Through this process, silence transforms from being merely a lack of sound into a profound state of introspection. Reclaiming inner peace through silence also means granting ourselves permission to let go. The act of letting go. It can take many forms, releasing the need to constantly respond to others, relinquishing control over things we cannot change, or simply surrendering to the flow of life without resistance. Silence provides the perfect environment for this release. In moments of stillness, we realize that much of our stress stems from clinging to expectations, outcomes, or the need for approval. As we let go of these attachments, we create space for peace to enter. The journey to reclaim inner peace also requires courage. Silence, while healing, can be intimidating because it strips away distractions and forces us to confront ourselves. It is much easier to bury discomfort in a busy schedule or drown out uncertainties with external noise. But in silence, there is no escape. This confrontation, however, is not something to fear. It is an opportunity. It is through this honest encounter with ourselves that we gain clarity and begin to heal. By facing our fears, doubts, and insecurities head-on, we dismantle their power over us. Over time, the silence becomes less of a challenge and more of a trusted companion, a space where we feel safe, understood, and whole. The physical act of carving out silence in our lives is equally essential. This could mean setting aside a few minutes daily for mindfulness or meditation, turning off devices during meals, or dedicating a weekend to disconnect from the digital world entirely. These small yet intentional acts of creating quiet time can have profound ripple effects. They teach us to appreciate simplicity and cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude. Silence doesn't have to mean total isolation. It can also be shared, such as enjoying a peaceful walk in nature with a loved one without the need for words. These moments remind us that peace isn't something we find externally, it's something we nurture within. In a broader sense, reclaiming inner peace through silence contributes not only to personal well-being, but also to our interactions with the world. When we operate from a place of calm and clarity, we approach challenges with greater patience and creativity. Relationships improve as we become better listeners, more empathetic, and less reactive. The ripple effects of inner peace extend far beyond the individual, fostering harmony in families, communities, and even workplaces. Reclaiming inner peace through silence is not about escaping the world, but about equipping ourselves to engage with it more meaningfully. It is about recognizing that the constant noise and demands of modern life are not sustainable, and that true strength lies in our ability to pause, reflect, and reset. Silence is not a void, is a vessel, one that carries us back to ourselves, reminding us of who we are beneath the surface and guiding us toward a life of balance and authenticity. In the end, Reclaiming inner peace is not just a gift to ourselves, but a gift to everyone around us, as it allows us to show up in the world as our best and truest selves. Self-awareness is one of the most transformative and empowering aspects of personal growth, and it often begins with disconnection. In a world filled with ceaseless communication and digital connectivity, the ability to step away and spend time with ourselves has become increasingly rare, yet it remains essential. Cutting contacts and embracing silence offers a unique opportunity to explore the depths of our own minds, separate from the noise and influences of the outside world. It is in these moments of intentional solitude that we can strengthen self-awareness and gain profound insights into our thoughts, emotions, and values. When we are constantly engaged with others, be it through conversations, social media, or other forms of interaction, our minds are often pulled in multiple directions. We become consumed by external opinions, social comparisons, and the need to respond or react. It allows us to pause and ask ourselves essential questions. Who am I? What do I want? What truly matters to me? These questions, though simple on the surface, often go unanswered in the noise of everyday life. Strengthening self-awareness begins with the courage to look inward. Silence acts as a mirror, reflecting our inner world in its raw and unfiltered form. In the absence of external distractions, we are confronted with our true selves, our thoughts, our fears, and our dreams. Initially, this confrontation can be uncomfortable. The mind, accustomed to constant stimulation, may resist the stillness, surfacing worries, regrets, or unresolved emotions. However, this process is an essential step toward deeper understanding. So by sitting with our discomfort, we begin to uncover patterns in our thoughts and behaviors. We notice the beliefs we have been carrying, the habits that no longer serve us, and the desires we have suppressed. This clarity is the foundation of self-awareness. Another profound benefit of cutting contacts is the ability to untangle our own voice from the voices of others. In our interconnected lives, it is easy to internalize the expectations and opinions of those around us. We may pursue goals that align with societal standards rather than our own passions, or make decisions influenced by fear of judgment. Disconnection allows us to step back and distinguish between what is truly ours and what has been adopted from external influences. In this space, we can reclaim our authenticity, aligning our actions and choices with our inner truth, rather than external validation. Silence and solitude also provide an opportunity to tune into our emotions. Often we move through life reacting to situations without fully understanding the emotions. For instance, if we feel anger, we can examine what triggered it, whether it stems from unmet expectations, unresolved pain, or fear. Similarly, moments of joy and contentment can be better understood, allowing us to identify what truly brings us happiness. So this emotional awareness not only enhances our relationship with ourselves, but also improves our interactions with others, fostering empathy, understanding, and healthier communication. The journey of strengthening self-awareness through disconnection is not about isolating ourselves permanently. Rather, it is about creating intentional moments of solitude to deepen our understanding. This practice has practical applications in all areas of life. For example, in decision-making, self-awareness allows us to discern what aligns with our values and long-term goals rather than acting impulsively or under pressure. In relationships, it helps us identify our needs and boundaries, enabling us to communicate more effectively and build stronger connections. In our careers, self-awareness guides us to pursue paths that resonate with our passions and strengths, leading to greater fulfillment. It is also worth noting that self-awareness is a dynamic process. As we grow and evolve, our values, goals, and perspectives may change. Regular periods of silence and disconnection help us stay attuned to these shifts, ensuring that we remain aligned with our authentic selves. This ongoing practice of reflection and realignment fosters resilience, adaptability, and a deep sense of purpose. Strengthening self-awareness through cutting contacts is a profound act of self-care. It is a reminder that we are not defined by our roles, responsibilities, or relationships, but by the essence of who we are at our core. Embracing solitude, we create the conditions for growth, healing, and transformation. We learn to trust ourselves, to listen to our intuition, and to navigate life with greater clarity and confidence. Disconnecting from others and embracing moments of silence is not about withdrawing from the world, but about reconnecting with ourselves. It is in these quiet spaces that we come to understand our true nature, our deepest desires, and our unique strengths. By cultivating self-awareness, we empower ourselves to live authentically, make meaningful choices, and contribute to the world in a way that reflects our truest selves. Protecting your energy is an essential aspect of maintaining balance and well-being in a world that constantly demands your attention. At a modern pace of life, filled with continuous communication, deadlines, and digital distractions, can be overwhelming, leaving us drained mentally, emotionally, and physically. Cutting contacts, even for a short while, provides a necessary boundary that helps conserve and restore our energy, ensuring we can show up as our best selves in all aspects of life. Our energy is a finite resource, and everything we engage with, whether conversations, tasks, or digital interactions, demands a piece of it. When we are in constant contact with others, it is easy to overextend ourselves, giving more than we have to offer. Over time, this can lead to burnout, frustration, and even resentment. Cutting contacts allows us to step back and assess where our energy is going. It gives us the space to determine which interactions and commitments are truly enriching and which ones are unnecessarily draining. When we are always available to others, we inadvertently make ourselves vulnerable to energy depletion. This is particularly true for individuals who take on the role of caregivers, problem solvers, or listeners in their relationships. And while these roles are often fulfilling, they can also become overwhelming when we don't set boundaries. Disconnecting provides an opportunity to prioritize our own needs without guilt. It reminds us that we cannot pour from an empty cup and that taking care of ourselves is not selfish but essential for sustainable giving. Silence and solitude serve as a form of energy detox. They allow us to disconnect from external demands and recharge our internal reserves. During this time, we can engage in activities that nurture our energy rather than deplete it. This might include meditation, spending time in nature, reading, or simply enjoying moments of stillness. These restorative practices help recalibrate our mental and emotional states, leaving us feeling refreshed and more capable of handling life's challenges. Another benefit of cutting contacts is the clarity it brings in identifying energy drains. When we are constantly in motion, we may not realize the subtle ways in which certain interactions or commitments affect us. However, stepping away creates the distance needed to evaluate these dynamics objectively. Are there relationships that feel one-sided or toxic? Are there commitments that no longer align with our values or priorities? By identifying these drains, we can make more intentional choices about where and how we invest our energy moving forward. Protecting your energy also involves recognizing the impact of digital connectivity. Social media, emails, and instant messaging are powerful tools for connection, but they can also become significant sources of stress and distraction. The pressure to stay constantly connected and responsive can lead to a sense of being always on, which is exhausting. Cutting contacts and taking a break from digital platforms provides a much-needed respite, allowing us to focus on the present moment without the constant pull of notifications and updates. While cutting contacts may seem like an act of disconnection, it is, in fact, an act of reconnection with ourselves. It is in these moments of solitude that we can tune into our inner needs and desires. We gain the clarity to determine what truly energizes us and what depletes us. This self-awareness is crucial for creating a life that feels aligned and fulfilling. And by protecting our energy, we ensure that we have the capacity to pursue our passions, nurture meaningful relationships, and contribute to the world in a way that feels authentic and sustainable. It's also important to acknowledge that protecting your energy doesn't mean shutting people out indefinitely. Instead, it is about creating a healthy balance between connection and solitude. But once we've taken the time to recharge, we can re-engage with others from a place of strength and positivity rather than depletion. This not only benefits us, but also enhances the quality of our relationships. When we are fully present and energized, we bring our best selves to our interactions, fostering deeper, more meaningful connections. Protecting your energy also teaches us the value of saying no. Often we feel obligated to meet every request or expectation placed upon us, fearing that saying no might disappoint others or lead to conflict. However, cutting contacts temporarily shows us that it's okay to prioritize ourselves. It empowers us to set boundaries that protect our time and energy, ensuring that we are investing them in things that truly matter. Cutting contacts and creating periods of silence are essential practices for protecting your energy. They provide the space to recharge, evaluate, and realign with what matters most. And by conserving our energy, we cultivate a sense of balance and resilience, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace. This practice not only enhances our own well-being, but also enables us to contribute more meaningfully to the lives of others, creating a ripple effect of positivity and strength. Protecting your energy is not just a necessity, it is an act of self-respect and a cornerstone of a fulfilled and harmonious life. Though finding clarity is one of the most powerful outcomes of embracing silence and cutting contacts. In a world saturated with distractions and endless streams of information, our thoughts can often feel clouded and fragmented. We are pulled in multiple directions by competing priorities, external influences, and the noise of everyday life. Taking a step back from these constant inputs offers the mental and emotional space necessary to reflect, recalibrate, and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our path forward. When we are perpetually engaged with others through conversations, obligations, or digital interactions, our minds are rarely at rest. We become reactive, constantly responding to the needs and expectations of those around us. This reactive state can obscure our true desires and prevent us from seeing situations clearly. Silence creates an environment where the noise subsides, allowing our thoughts to settle. It is in the stillness that we can begin to untangle the complexities of our lives and discern what is truly important. The aspirations, clarity often begins with the process of mental decluttering. Much like cleaning a cluttered room, stepping into silence enables us to sort through our thoughts, separating the essential from the extraneous. We may start to notice recurring patterns, ideas, or concerns that surface repeatedly, signaling their significance. At the same time, we may realize that certain worries or distractions hold little real importance, allowing us to let go of them. This mental organization creates a sense of order and focus, freeing us from the overwhelm of scattered thoughts. Disconnecting from others also provides a much-needed break from external influences. Every day, we are exposed to a barrage of opinions, advice, and societal pressures, often without realizing how deeply they shape our decisions. Cutting contacts temporarily allows us to reconnect with our own voice, free from the biases and expectations of others. This is especially valuable when facing important decisions or life transitions. In silence, we can reflect on what truly matters to us, considering our values, passions, and long-term goals without interference. The act of finding clarity is not just about identifying what we want, it's also about confronting what no longer serves us. Silence provides the courage to acknowledge the areas of our lives that feel misaligned or unfulfilling. This might include relationships that drain us, habits that hinder our growth, or responsibilities that no longer align with our priorities. While these realizations can be uncomfortable, they are essential for making meaningful changes. This clarity illuminates the path forward, helping us make intentional choices that align with our authentic selves. Dit is the fashion for you in those crowd. Faktiskt from the equations. Fine worse to cautions or stigma. Another profound aspect of clarity is its ability to dissolve the illusion of urgency. In the hustle of daily life, everything can feel like a pressing priority, creating unnecessary stress and anxiety. However, when we step back and embrace moments of stillness, we gain perspective. We begin to see that not everything demands immediate attention or resolution. This shift in perception allows us to approach challenges with greater calm and discernment, focusing our energy on what truly matters rather than getting caught up in the noise. Silence also fosters clarity by enhancing our connection to intuition. In the busyness of modern life, it's easy to dismiss the quiet whispers of our inner guidance, overshadowed by logic, fear, or external validation. However, when we cut contacts and create space for reflection, our intuition often becomes more pronounced. It can provide insights and solutions that feel natural and aligned, guiding us toward choices that resonate deeply with who we are. And this intuitive clarity is a powerful tool for navigating both personal and professional decisions. The benefits of clarity extend beyond our internal experience. They also impact how we engage with the world around us. When we are clear about our values and priorities, we can communicate them more effectively to others. This strengthens our relationships as people understand where we stand and what we need. Similarly, clarity helps us set boundaries, ensuring that we protect our time and energy for the things that matter most. This sense of purpose and alignment enhances our confidence and resilience, enabling us to face challenges with a sense of direction and determination. Finding clarity through silence and disconnection is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. Life is dynamic, and our priorities, goals, and circumstances are constantly evolving. These regular periods of solitude allow us to stay attuned to these changes, ensuring that we remain aligned with our truest selves. They provide a space for reflection, growth, and recalibration, helping us navigate life with intention and authenticity. Cutting contacts and embracing silence is a transformative practice for finding clarity. It allows us to sift through the noise of daily life, reconnect with our inner voice, and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our path forward. But this clarity empowers us to make intentional choices, set meaningful priorities, and live in alignment with our values. It is not about escaping from the world, but about creating the space to see it in ourselves more clearly. In a world of constant motion, moments of stillness are where we discover the direction and purpose that guide us forward. Breaking free from unhealthy patterns is one of the most transformative outcomes of cutting contacts and embracing silence. In the relentless pace of modern life, it is easy to fall into routines, behaviors, and relationships that may not serve our highest good. These patterns, often deeply ingrained, can hold us back from growth, happiness, and fulfillment. By stepping back and disconnecting, even temporarily, we create the space to identify these patterns, understand their impact, and take intentional steps to break free from them. Unhealthy patterns often persist because they operate on autopilot. These might include overcommitting to others at the expense of your well-being, staying in draining relationships, or constantly seeking external validation. Without periods of reflection, these behaviors can become so normalized that they go unnoticed. Cutting contacts interrupts the cycle, forcing us to confront the ways in which these patterns manifest in our lives. Silence strips away the distractions that often mask these behaviors, bringing them to the forefront of our awareness. One of the first steps in breaking free from unhealthy patterns is recognizing their origins. Many of these behaviors stem from past experiences, social conditioning, or deeply held fears. For instance, the habit of people-pleasing may arise from a fear of rejection or a desire for approval rooted in childhood experiences. Similarly, staying in toxic relationships might be linked to feelings of unworthiness or fear of being alone. By creating space for self-reflection, we can begin to unravel these underlying motivations and understand why we have been holding on to patterns that no longer serve us. Silence also provides an opportunity to evaluate the consequences of these patterns. Often, we become so accustomed to certain behaviors or relationships that we fail to see how they impact our lives. However, when we disconnect and take a step back, the effects become clearer. We may notice how certain interactions leave us feeling drained or unfulfilled, or how specific habits prevent us from achieving our goals. This awareness is crucial, as it highlights the cost of maintaining these patterns and motivates us to make changes. Breaking free from unhealthy patterns is not just about identifying them, but also about envisioning a healthier alternative. Silence allows us to reconnect with our values, priorities, and aspirations. It helps us define the kind of life we want to live and the kind of person we want to be. This vision becomes a guiding light, giving us the clarity and direction needed to move away from old patterns and toward behaviors that align with our authentic selves. The process of breaking free also requires courage and self-compassion. Unhealthy patterns often feel safe and familiar, even when they are harmful. Stepping away from them can be uncomfortable and may even evoke fear or resistance. Silence and solitude help us build the inner strength needed to face these challenges. They provide a supportive space where we can process our emotions, confront our fears, and remind ourselves that growth often requires stepping outside of our comfort zones. Cutting contacts temporarily can also reveal the role others play in perpetuating unhealthy patterns. For instance, certain relationships may reinforce negative self-beliefs or encourage behaviors that do not align with our values. By disconnecting, we can evaluate these dynamics objectively without the influence of ongoing interactions. This clarity helps us set healthier boundaries, ensuring that our relationships are mutual respect, support, and alignment rather than obligation or dependency. Breaking free from unhealthy patterns is not an instant transformation, but a gradual process that requires consistent effort and self-awareness. Silence provides the foundation for this journey, offering us the time and space to reflect, recalibrate, and take intentional steps forward. It allows us to experiment with new behaviors, make mistakes, and learn from them without judgment. Over time, these small changes add up, leading to significant shifts in our habits, relationships, and overall well-being. The rewards of breaking free from unhealthy patterns extend far beyond personal growth. As we let go of what no longer serves us, we create space for what truly nurtures and fulfills us. This might include healthier relationships, more meaningful pursuits, or a deep breaking free. He also enhances our ability to contribute positively to the lives of others, as we are no longer held back by limiting beliefs or destructive habits. It empowers us to show up authentically and fully, both for ourselves and for those around us. Breaking free from unhealthy patterns is an act of liberation. It is about reclaiming our power and choosing to live in alignment with our true selves. By cutting contacts and embracing silence, we create the conditions necessary for this transformation. We give ourselves permission to pause, reflect, and reset, paving the way for a life that feels more intentional, authentic, and fulfilling. It is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, one that reminds us of our ability to grow, evolve, and thrive. Focusing on personal growth becomes a profound and transformative journey when we consciously choose to embrace silence and reduce external distractions. In the modern world, filled with noise, obligations, and a constant stream of digital interactions, the time and space for introspection are often sacrificed. So by stepping away from this external chaos, we open the door to exploring our inner world, uncovering our true potential, and investing in our development as individuals. When we silence the external noise, we create an environment conducive to self-reflection. Personal growth requires a clear understanding of who we are, what we value, and where we want to go. However, this understanding can only emerge when we take the time to look inward. In the stillness of solitude, we can examine our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without the influence of others. This reflection allows us to identify our strengths, weaknesses, aspirations, and the areas of our lives that need attention. A crucial aspect of personal growth is the cultivation of self-awareness. Cutting contacts and embracing silence give us the space to observe our habits and thought patterns. For instance, we might notice tendencies towards self-doubt, procrastination, or overthinking that have gone unchecked in the busyness of daily life. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward change. With awareness, we can begin to question and reframe limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering narratives that support our growth. Silence also enhances our ability to focus and set meaningful goals. In the absence of constant distractions, our minds become sharper and more attuned to what truly matters. This clarity allows us to identify goals that align with our values and aspirations rather than those imposed by societal expectations or external pressures. Whether it's pursuing a new skill, deepening our understanding of a subject, or improving our physical and mental health, these goals become a reflection of our authentic selves. The process of personal growth often involves facing challenges and stepping out of our comfort zones. Silence provides the mental and emotional resilience needed for this journey. By spending time alone, we learn to rely on our inner strength and develop a deeper trust in ourselves. This self-reliance is crucial when navigating obstacles, as it empowers us to persevere despite setbacks and uncertainties. Moreover, solitude allows us to process our emotions without judgment, creating a safe space for healing and self-compassion. In this journey of personal growth, cutting contacts also reduces external validation, encouraging us to seek approval and fulfillment from within. It is common to measure our worth based on the opinions and feedback of others, but this can lead to a fragile sense of self-esteem. By disconnecting, we shift the focus inward, learning to appreciate ourselves for who we are rather than for how others perceive us. This internal validation fosters a more stable and enduring sense of self-worth. Another significant benefit of focusing on personal growth in solitude is the opportunity to explore creativity and innovation. Without the constant influence of external voices, our minds are free to wander and experiment. This freedom often leads to fresh ideas, insights, and perspectives that might not emerge in a crowded or noisy environment. Whether it's developing a creative hobby, brainstorming solutions to a problem, or envisioning a new path forward, silence fuels the imagination and sparks inspiration. Personal growth is not limited to the mind. It also encompasses our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. In the stillness of solitude, we can reconnect with our bodies, paying attention to their needs and nurturing them through exercise, rest, and mindful eating. Emotionally, we gain the space to process our feelings, heal from past wounds, and develop a greater capacity for empathy and compassion. Spiritually, Silence allows us to connect with something greater than ourselves, whether it's through meditation, prayer, or simply appreciating the beauty of the natural world. Um, the journey of personal growth is deeply empowering as it reminds us of our potential to evolve and thrive. It is not about becoming someone else, but about becoming the best version of ourselves. This process requires patience, commitment, and willingness to embrace both the highs and lows of the journey. By cutting contacts and dedicating time to ourselves, we signal a commitment to this growth, prioritizing our development over the distractions of the external world. Focusing on personal growth through silence and solitude is an act of self-love and self-respect. It is a declaration that our well-being and fulfillment matter, and it is a step toward living a life that is authentic, meaningful, and aligned with our deepest values. While the journey may feel challenging at times, the rewards greater self-awareness, resilience, creativity, and inner peace make it profoundly worthwhile. Through this process, we rediscover our true selves and unlock our boundless potential for growth and transformation. And rebuilding healthier relationships is a profound outcome of taking time to be silent and cutting contacts temporarily. Often in the midst of constant interactions and daily busyness, we may lose sight of the true value and purpose of our relationships. Because some connections might drain our energy, while others may go unappreciated. By stepping back from the noise, we allow ourselves the space to reflect on the dynamics of our relationships, evaluate their impact on our well-being, and rebuild them on healthier and more meaningful foundations. When we cut contacts, even briefly, we create the distance necessary to gain perspective. In the thick of daily interactions, it can be challenging to objectively assess the quality of our relationships. We may overlook toxic patterns, dismiss our own needs, or fail to notice how we may be contributing to unhealthy dynamics. Silence gives us the clarity to step away from these influences and view our relationships from a more neutral and reflective stance. It allows us to ask important questions. Are these connections supportive and nurturing? Do they align with our values and aspirations? Are we showing up authentically, or are we compromising ourselves to fit into someone else's expectations? This period of introspection often reveals the subtle imbalances and unspoken issues that may have gone unnoticed. Perhaps there are relationships where boundaries are not respected, or perhaps we find ourselves overly reliant on someone for emotional validation. On the flip side, we might recognize where we have been neglectful or distant, failing to invest in connections that truly matter. These realizations, though sometimes uncomfortable, are vital for growth and transformation. Rebuilding healthier relationships starts with redefining boundaries. Silence and solitude help us identify what we need from our connections and what we are willing to give. Healthy boundaries are not about shutting others out. Rather, they are about creating mutual respect and understanding. They ensure that relationships are not built on guilt, obligation, or dependency, but on genuine care and shared values. By stepping back, we also learn to communicate these boundaries more effectively, fostering relationships that are more balanced and filling. A significant part of rebuilding relationships is addressing toxic or unhealthy connections. Sometimes cutting contacts reveals relationships that are rooted in negativity, manipulation, or control. These connections may drain our energy, diminish our self-esteem, or hinder our personal growth. And silence allows us to recognize these dynamics and make the tough but necessary decision to distance ourselves from such influences. Letting go of toxic relationships is not an act of cruelty, but one of self-preservation and empowerment. It clears the way for healthier connections to enter our lives. The pause from constant communication can rekindle appreciation for relationships that truly matter. Distance often brings clarity and gratitude, allowing us to see the value of supportive friends, family members, or partners who uplift and encourage us. When we re-engage with these people, we do so with a renewed sense of appreciation and a deeper commitment to nurturing these bonds. We are more present, attentive, and intentional in our interactions, which strengthens the connection and enhances its quality. Rebuilding healthier relationships also involves improving the way we show up for others. Silence helps us identify patterns of behavior that may have hindered our connections. For example, we may realize that we were overly critical, distant, or preoccupied, unintentionally causing strain. This awareness gives us the opportunity to approach our relationships with greater empathy, patience, and kindness. We become more attuned to the needs and feelings of others, fostering a deeper sense of trust and mutual understanding. This process encourages us to build relationships that align with our growth and aspirations. As we evolve, our connections should reflect our values and support our journey. Silence helps us identify people who inspire us, challenge us to be better, and share our vision for a meaningful life. These relationships act as catalysts for growth, encouraging us to pursue our goals and stay true to ourselves. By investing in such connections, we create a supportive network that enriches our lives. The process of rebuilding relationships after a period of silence is also a powerful reminder of the importance of balance. While relationships are essential to our well-being, they should not come at the cost of our individuality. Silence teaches us to strike a balance between being connected to others and staying connected to ourselves. This balance ensures that our relationships enhance our lives without compromising our sense of self. Rebuilding healthier relationships is a journey of renewal and growth. It is about letting go of what no longer serves us, appreciating what truly matters, and fostering connections that are rooted in mutual respect, authenticity, and love. By taking time for silence and reflection, we lay the groundwork for relationships that are not only healthier, but also more meaningful and fulfilling. Through this process, we rediscover the joy and purpose of human connection, creating bonds that stand the test of time and enrich our lives in profound ways. Finding inner peace is a significant and transformative outcome of choosing silence, thus temporarily cutting contacts. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions abound and external pressures constantly demand our attention, achieving a sense of calm can often feel elusive. However, by intentionally stepping away from the noise and allowing ourselves the space for introspection, we can cultivate a profound sense of inner peace that nourishes our mind, body, and spirit. The first step toward finding inner peace through silence is creating a sanctuary within ourselves. This sanctuary is a mental space where we can retreat when the outside world feels overwhelming. By cutting contacts, we reduce the influx of opinions, expectations, and demands from others, allowing us to focus inwardly. This focus on our internal world helps us reconnect with our true selves, rediscovering what brings us joy, fulfillment, and serenity. In the stillness, we learn to listen to our thoughts and feelings without judgment, fostering a compassionate relationship with ourselves. Silence serves as a powerful antidote to the chaos that often clouds our minds. In the absence of external stimulation, our minds can finally settle, allowing us to process emotions and thoughts that may have been suppressed or ignored. Many people find that their thoughts can spiral into anxiety or stress when they are constantly engaged with others or bombarded by information. However, by embracing solitude, we can observe our thoughts more objectively, recognizing patterns that may contribute to our unrest. And this clarity enables us to confront our fears, worries, and unresolved issues with a sense of detachment, paving the way for healing and resolution. Meditation and mindfulness practices are often enhanced in silence. These practices invite us to cultivate a deeper awareness of the present moment, grounding us in the here and now. By taking the time to engage in meditation, we train our minds to focus on our breath, bodily sensations, or a specific mantra which promotes relaxation and calm. As we learn to quiet our minds, we can let go of the incessant chatter that often pulls us away from inner peace. Over time, this practice can lead to a greater sense of serenity, emotional balance, and overall well-being. Finding inner peace also involves learning to accept ourselves as we are. In the quiet of solitude, we can reflect on our strengths and weaknesses without the pressure to conform to external standards or expectations. But this acceptance is liberating. It allows us to embrace our imperfections and recognize that they are part of our unique journey. Rather than striving for an idealized version of ourselves, we can cultivate a sense of self-compassion that fosters inner peace. So this self-acceptance creates a solid foundation for growth and healing, allowing us to move forward with a sense of grace and understanding. Silence can also provide the necessary space for emotional processing. Many individuals carry emotional baggage from past experiences, relationships, or traumas. These unresolved feelings can disrupt our peace and contribute to anxiety or stress. But by cutting contacts and taking time for reflection, we create an environment conducive to processing these emotions. In the stillness, we can explore our feelings, allowing ourselves to grieve, forgive, and ultimately release the pain that may be holding us back. This emotional release is a critical step toward achieving inner peace, as it frees us from the burdens of the past and allows us to live more fully in the present. Another important aspect of finding inner peace is cultivating a sense of gratitude. When we step away from the noise of everyday life, we often gain a fresh perspective on what truly matters. We can reflect on the blessings in our lives, no matter how small, and develop an appreciation for the present moment. Practicing gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, fostering a sense of contentment that is vital for inner peace. In this state of gratitude, we can let go of the relentless pursuit of more and find joy in simply being. And silence encourages us to reconnect with nature, which is often a powerful source of peace. Nature has a unique ability to soothe our minds and bodies. And spending time in natural surroundings can significantly impact our well-being. Whether it's taking a walk in the woods, sitting by a lake, or simply observing the beauty of a sunrise, these moments of connection with nature can ground us and remind us of the bigger picture. In nature, we often find solace, perspective, and inspiration, reinforcing our journey toward inner peace. Finding inner peace is an ongoing journey rather than a destination. While silence and solitude can create the conditions for peace, maintaining that peace requires continuous effort and commitment. It involves cultivating habits that support our well-being, such as mindfulness, self-care, and healthy boundaries. By prioritizing our inner peace, we empower ourselves to navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. The choice to embrace silence and cut contacts temporarily is a powerful act of self-care that can lead to profound inner peace. By creating space for introspection, we can process emotions, practice self-acceptance, and cultivate gratitude. Silence allows us to reconnect with ourselves and the natural world, fostering a sense of calm and serenity that is often missing in our busy lives. So ultimately, finding inner peace is about embracing the present moment, nurturing our well-being, and committing to a journey of growth and self-discovery. Through this process, we can experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and joy, enriching our lives in ways we may have never imagined.